Hello, teacher.
How are you, Kakzung?
Hello,
Hello,
I'm
Mr. Rick.
fine.
Hello?
Good. Hello, Michael. I
Hello.
can I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. My computer just lagged a lot recently.
Sorry, Michael, what did you say? I didn't hear that.
My computer just lagged a lot
Oh,
recently.
right. Okay. Okay. Can you turn your camera on, please, Michael? And see you too, please, Kakzung. Oh, there you are, Michael. Okay. Nice to see you.
Hello.
Hi. And Kakzung, can you turn your camera on too, please? So you've been very busy, Michael.
Yeah, extremely busy. And
Right.
I'm exhausted.
Right. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you get a chance to relax sometime.
Well, too bad I don't have any chance.
No, no. How long will you stay busy for? How many more weeks?
Uh, Probably the end of the next 2 weeks.
Right. Okay. So 2 more weeks.
That's the least I could think of.
Okay. Okay. I can see you very clearly. Thank you, Kakzun. How is school for you this week, Kakzun?
My school,
Yeah,
it is normal.
normal.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any exams coming up?
Yes. Next week I have some short exam, math.
Right.
Yes.
Math.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good luck with that.
Thank
And
you.
good luck to you too, Michael. Sounds too busy.
Thank
Sound
you.
like you're too busy. Yeah. Okay. We'll just wait for the others to join us. What we're going to be doing for most of the lesson today, we'll do a little bit of talking, and then we're going to write an essay. And I will give you a talk on how to get ideas for your essay. I think this is the main thing a lot of people worry about. Is where do ideas come from? How do I get ideas when I have an essay topic? So I'll give you a talk that will, I hope, help you with that. Okay, almost time to start the lesson. Okay, hello, Cho Zhang.
Yes, hi, teacher.
How are you, Cho Zhang?
I feel great. Thank you.
Good, good, good. I haven't seen you for a long time.
Yes, me too.
How is school going, Cho Zhang?
Actually, it's quite normal and a lot of examinations.
A lot of examinations. Okay. All right, I'll just wait another couple of minutes and then we will start it. I can see Jia Wei is coming. How is the weather in Hanoi today, Michael?
Um, the weather today, I think, is most all normal. A little bit of wind,
Yeah.
small rain.
Is it very hot?
It's not hot.
Oh, okay, not too hot. Good. So I hear it rained hard earlier this week.
Yeah, it's just rain hard from the night.
Right. Okay. Okay. Hello, Zhao Wei. How are you?
Hello, Mr. Rick. I'm fine.
Good. And Kim Nan, how are you?
Oh, yeah. Hello, I'm fine.
Good, Kim Nan. Have you had a good week at school?
Yeah.
Okay, good, good. Now, oh, Kim Nan, I couldn't open the homework you sent me. Did you see? I replied to your email, but I couldn't open the link. So I haven't seen your homework. Okay, everyone, I think we'll get started. seeing as it's after 3 o'clock. So welcome to the class. It's good to see you all again, as usual. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing a little bit of talking. I'm going to give you a wee talk about where ideas come from, how to get ideas for your essay. A lot of students worry about they will not think of ideas, or you can't think of ideas during the exam. Well, I will give you a few suggestions, and hopefully these suggestions will make you feel less stressed about this sort of thing. And then we're going to be doing some writing. We'll try and write a complete essay for the rest of the lesson. Okay. Before we start, so Cho Zhang, when are you going to sit the IELTS exam?
Mm, I think that may be 2 months later.
In about 2 months, you think?
Yes,
Okay, so what month would that be? You mean maybe in November?
or maybe not more than that. Like maybe in December or January.
December or January? Okay, that's fine. I just need to get an idea of when everyone is sitting the exam. So December, January. Okay, thank you, Cho-san. Okay, just make sure anyone else has joined us. No. Okay, so what we're going to be doing first of all is just to have a little warm-up speaking. So you can see I have some words here. Maybe these words are new to some of you. Some of you might recognize them because we did look at them a while ago. So the first word here is blunt. So someone who is blunt, this is an adjective, by the way, someone who is blunt is very direct and very frank with their speaking. Someone who is blunt says exactly what they are thinking without worrying about what effect it might have on someone who is listening. It's not quite the opposite of being polite, but it's close to the opposite of being polite. Does that make sense to you, Michael?
Yes, that is.
Okay, so someone who is blunt, as I say, is they give their opinion very strongly. And for example, if they think someone is stupid, they will tell them, you are stupid. You know, they won't worry about hurting someone else's feelings. That's what a blunt person does. So, Michael, can you give me a sentence, please, similar to the one I've done here with ambitious? So you can see I've got ambitious. My sister is very ambitious. One day she wants to be the boss of her own company. Can you give me a similar sentence, please, Michael, using the word blunt?
Hmm. Um, the commander of my team just gave out a speech. I saw that as a blunt statement, of fact.
A member of my team just gave a speech. I saw that as a blunt statement. Okay, it's not bad. You need to be, for this example, need to be more specific about what he said. Okay?
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Kakzung, can you try this, please?
What? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, so, okay. So the word blunt, please, Kakzung. Blunt. Did you hear me explaining before about what blunt means?
Yes.
Okay. Can you try give me a sentence, just like I've done here for ambitious, you can see on the screen. Can you try and do the same thing for blunt?
Blunt.
For example, you can start, my sister is very blunt, and then give me an example.
Yes. Okay. Like my brother, my brother is very blunt. He always shout. That's my face and
Yeah, you are on the right idea.
yeah, but I don't know it's a hard word.
Yeah. My brother, you would say something like, my brother is very blunt. When I got a bad mark in the exam, he told me I was stupid. Okay, that would be a good example of blunt.
Yes.
Okay, does that make sense? My brother is very blunt. When I got a bad mark in the exam, he told me I was stupid. Okay,
Yes.
that is an example of someone being blunt. Cho Zhang, can you try this, please? Blunt.
And that now we'll like make a sentence.
Yes, so you can see I've made a sentence. If you can see on the page, I've made a sentence with ambitious, such as my sister is very ambitious. One day she wants to be the boss of her own company. Can you make a similar type of sentence using the word blunt?
So that girl is really blunt when she not quite in the line.
Sorry, when she doesn't.
Like that girl is really blunt when she not quite in the line.
When she not stay in the line.
Yes.
Is that what you said? Okay. So blunt doesn't mean quite like that. Blunt, as I was saying, means someone who is very direct in their speaking and very frank. So I see we've had some new people join us. Hello, Paula. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great.
Okay. Nice to have you on the lesson again, Paula. Okay, everyone, can you please turn your cameras on? Can't see anyone at the moment. Paula? And hello, Tang. Hello, Tang.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can, Tang. Have you got your camera fixed yet?
Let me check it real quick.
Okay, thank you. Hello, Zung Ha. Zung Ha.
Hi,
Hi, how are you, Zung Ha? Nice to see you.
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, good. Zung Ha, can you try blunt? Do you know what blunt means?
A little bit.
Yeah, can you try a sentence with blunt?
He's a blunt person when say that word in a meeting.
Not quite. Okay, so this is a little bit of a tricky one, but I'm sure you know what this means in Vietnamese. Paula.
Yeah.
Okay, can you try blunt, a sentence with blunt in it, such as, my sister is very blunt, or my friend is very blunt, or my teacher is very blunt.
Yeah, okay. My mom was really blunt about my jacket.
Yeah, but you have to give an example. How was she blunt about your jacket?
She said it was really baggy and disgusting.
Okay, good. All right. So everyone, Paula's example was my mum was very blunt about my jacket. She said it was very baggy and disgusting. Okay, that's a good example, Paula. So someone who is blunt is very direct, usually with criticism. You could also say something like, my mum was very blunt about my jacket. She told me she hated it. Does that make sense, Sung Ha?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, Zung Ha. So another word for you. This time we are looking at this one, judgmental. So judgmental is someone who judges other people on things like their appearance or clothes. For example, you might look at a person and say, oh, that person doesn't have very nice clothes. They must be very stupid. Okay, that's being judgmental. You are judging someone on their appearance or something they do. Does that make sense, Sung Ha?
Yes.
Okay, can you try a sentence, please? Can you try a sentence for me, please?
She's a judgmental person when always comment about people's clothes.
Okay, good. She's a judgmental person. She always comments about people's clothes. Jia Wei, can you do judgmental, please?
Okay. Some of my friends is very judgmental. They always talk about other people on the street.
Okay,
think-
good. That's all you need to say. That's good, Jia Wei. Okay. Some of my friends. Okay, so remember, friends, Jia Wei, is plural.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
Okay.
need to say are. Some of my friends are very judgmental.
Yes.
Is singular. So if you have just one friend, my friend is very judgmental, but my friends, plural, are very judgmental. Okay, all right. Kim Nan, nosy. Kim Nan, can you see what the definition here of nosy is, Kim Nan?
I don't know.
Okay, so you can see what I've written here. Nosy, Kim Nan. Nosy means you are always trying to find out what other people are doing or saying or talking about. Do you understand, Kim Nan?
A little.
A little bit. I'll give you an example. My neighbor is very nosy. He is always trying to find out who is visiting my house.
Yeah.
Okay, can you try a sentence like that, please, Kim Nan, using nosy?
My friend is nosy person because she wants to know everything on my phone.
Great example, Kim Nan. My friend is a nosy person. She wants to know everything on my phone. Okay, that's a good example of being nosy. Okay. Tongue, can you do nosy for me, please?
Nosy.
Yeah.
My neighbor are very nosy because they always curious what happened in my family.
Okay, good. All right, good. Talking about your neighbors. That's good. Thank you, Tongue. Okay, on to another one. Michael, self-assured. Someone who is self-assured is very confident. I'll give you an example. My sister is very self-assured. She has no trouble talking to strangers.
All right. My bigger brother is a very self-assured. He always act like he don't have any problems in his work.
Okay, that's good. Self-assured. Kak Zung, can you do self-assured, please? Remember, self-assured means confident. Someone who is self-assured is confident. Kak Zung.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. Self-assured, please, Kak Zung.
My friend is really self-assured because because he think that he know everything in the world.
They know everything. They think they know everything in the world. Okay, that's good. That's a good example. All right, and the last one of these, stingy. Stingy. Cho Zhang. Okay, so someone who is stingy, Ko Zhang, hates spending money. Okay, someone who is stingy. Can you give me an example sentence, please, using stingy?
So my friend is quite stingy when he not He always shy away when we split the money.
Okay, good. All right. My friend is very stingy. He always, what was the word you used, Cho Jung? He always,
I use the word shy away. It means like avoid.
shy away. Okay. He always, shy away is not quite correct for this. You could say he always runs away when we try to split the money. Okay. You could say that. But you shy away is okay. But something like runs away is better. Or my friend is very stingy. He never pays for anything. Okay, Jia Wei, can you do stingy, please?
Stingy spending money. Um,
Remember, stingy, hate spending money.
my friend is a very stingy person. He always tell me that he forget his wallet and I have to pay for him.
Right. That's a great example, Jia Wei. Perfect example. Good English, too. My friend is very stingy. He always forgets. He always says he forgets his wallet and I have to pay for him. Okay. Great example, Jia Wei. Thank you. Okay, so these words are just to add to your vocabulary, everyone. That's why I'm showing you them. So blunt, just remember, blunt means someone who speaks very directly, very frankly. Okay. That is your new jacket. I think it's very ugly. Okay, that is speaking bluntly. Have you been for a haircut? I really hate it. I hate your new haircut. Okay, this is someone who is very blunt. They speak without worrying about other people's feelings. Someone who is judgmental judges other people on things like their appearance, their clothes, how much money they have. Okay, I think that person is very stupid. They are wearing a very silly hat. Or I don't like the motorcycle that person has bought. They must be very stupid. Something like that. That is judgmental. Nosy is when you are trying to find out what other people are doing when it is none of your business. My sister is very nosy. She's always trying to look at my phone. Someone who is self-assured, confident. My friend is very self-assured. He always thinks he's going to be top of the class. And finally, stingy means you hate spending money. Okay, I hope you can find a way to add those words to your vocabulary sometime. Next week, we'll do the sentences about dream job, by the way. All right, before we get on to our next thing, which is idea generation, just going to quickly look at your homework. Thank you for everyone who sent homework. If you didn't send your homework, please try to do so. This is how you're going to improve your English, by practicing the things that we have discussed in the class. So, what we did with the homework last week, as most of you know, we looked at practicing subject-verb agreement. And these are the two rules. Okay, Kim Nan.
Yeah.
Okay, can you read me rule number 1, please, Kim Nan?
Yeah. If the subject is singular, the verb gets the S. The bull eats grass.
Okay, good. So you can see the bull is singular, so it means the verb has an S on the end. All right?
Yeah.
The second rule is the other way round. Paula, can you read rule number 2, please?
Yes. If the subject is plural, the subject gets the S. For example, the bulls eat grass.
Good. So the bulls, you can see here, the bulls is plural, so they get the S. So the verb doesn't get the S. Okay, those are the rules. So why we're doing this is because in your writing, I notice a very common mistake is that you don't get the subject-verb agreement right. People usually leaving the S off the verb when they should put the S on the verb. So just very quickly looking at the correct answers to these verb subject questions. Zung Ha, can you read number 1, please?
Phương and her brothers are at school.
Correct. So the correct choice is are. Phuong and her brothers are at school, because you use are with plural and is with singular. So Phuong and her brothers are, of course, plural. Okay, it's more than one person, Phuong and her brothers. So you use are. Okay, Tongue, number 2, please.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now. Yep.
No. Okay. Is my mother or my father is are coming to the meeting?
Okay, which one is correct? Tongue, is or are?
Oh wait. Is.
Okay, it is. All right. Is correct, because, okay, remember, is
Right.
goes with singular, are goes with plural, but mother and father are both singular. Here they are not together. Either my mother or my father is coming to the meeting. Okay, it's different from the Phuong and her brothers sentence. This is mother or my father. So each of those ones is singular, so it must be is. All right. Number 3, Michael, easy one. Number 3.
Number 3. The dog is outside.
Good. Okay. Very easy. This one, the dog, okay, is singular because there's only one dog. The dog is outside. All right. If this was plural, the dogs, then it would be are. Okay. Are goes with plural. Is goes with singular. Number 4, Kaksung. Kaksung, number 4.
Either my shoe or your coat is away on the floor.
Correct. Okay. Is correct in this case. My shoes or your coat is always on the floor. And this one a little bit tricky because, of course, shoes are plural. It's got an S on the end, so it's plural. Okay. Coat is singular. All right. And because coat is closest, so it is here, because coat is closest to the is are, it is because coat is singular. I hope that makes sense. If it was the other way round, the sentence, if it said either my coat or your shoes, then it would be are, because shoes would be closest to is are. So if these two were reversed, it would be are. I hope that makes sense. Number 5. Michael.
Yes.
Number 5, please.
May I know the names of the people? Like, is that Tiny?
Tom.
Tom and her don't want to see that movie.
Okay, good. Tom and Ha don't want to see that movie. Don't goes with plural, which because it's plural because there's 2 people. Doesn't goes with 1 person because it's singular. Okay, Kaksung. Number 6.
Huang doesn't know the answer.
Is correct, okay? Because Huang is singular. Only one Huang, 1 person, so it's doesn't.
Yes.
All right. This sentence up here with Tam and Ha, because it's plural, it's don't. If it's singular, it's doesn't. Okay, number 7, Choi Zhang, number 7.
Number 7 is I choose is.
Okay, can you read the sentence, please?
One of my sisters is going on a trip to France.
Correct, okay? So is correct, and it's because it is singular. One of my sisters. One of my sisters. One obviously is singular, just one thing. one of my sisters is going on a trip to France. Okay, if the sentence started with my sisters, then it would be are, because my sisters are plural, but one of my sisters is singular. Okay, Jawi, number 8.
Number 8.
Number
The
8.
man or the bus lives on the street.
Correct.
On my
Okay.
street. Yes.
Okay, good. So this was the one that most people got wrong. The man with all the birds lives on my street. The subject of the sentence is the man, not the birds. Okay, so the man is singular, so it must be lives. All right. If it's singular, the verb gets an S on the end, remember? So the subject of the sentence is the man lives on my street, not the birds. Number 9, Kim Nan, number 9.
The movie, including all the previews, takes about 2 hours to watch.
Good, Kim Nan. And that is because movie is singular. Okay, that's right, isn't it, Kim Nan?
Yeah.
Okay, so the movie is the subject of the sentence. The movie is singular, so it gets takes. And the last one, Paula, number 10.
The players as well as the captain want to win.
Good. Okay, and why is it want, Paula?
Because the main subject is the players.
Yeah, that's correct. All right, and the players is plural. Okay, so it means the verb doesn't get the S. Players have the S. Does that make sense, Paula?
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. And like I said last week, most of you have done this exercise since you were very young. Okay, but a lot of you are careless when it comes to using these in your writing. So this is just to give you practice and remind you of the rule. If the subject is singular, the verb gets the S. If the subject is plural, the subject gets the S and not the verb. Okay, any questions about that? All right. What we're going to do now is look at something that a lot of students have questions about, and that is, where do I get ideas from when I'm writing an essay? So many students worry in task 2 that they won't be able to think of ideas. When you've got a task 2 essay question, many students worry, what if I open the question and I don't understand the topic? What if I have no ideas about this? What if I don't know anything about this topic? All right, so I'm just going to spend the next 5 or 10 minutes trying to calm those fears that you might have and also give you some suggestions where ideas might come from. Now, this fear is often fed by reading fake IELTS questions on the internet or reading online about what other students have said about the questions when they said the idea, when they sat the exam. So these fake questions are often more difficult than the questions you will get in the real test. If, for example, you go on to Google and you type in IELTS exam questions, you will get thousands of questions will come up. Thousands of questions. Most of these questions are not from the IELTS exam. Okay, most of these questions are fake. So don't worry when you see all these questions online and you think, I don't know anything about nuclear physics. I don't know anything about why the sun shines. Okay, you won't get asked questions like that. You won't get asked questions like that. So don't get stressed and focus on these points instead. Okay, Zung Ha. Zung Ha, can you read number 1, please?
You haven't shared your screen yet.
Oh, I'm so sorry, everyone. I thought I had. Please tell me if I haven't shared these things. Okay, hang on just a moment. Sorry, everyone. Okay. Can you see now, Zungha?
Yes, I can.
That's great. Okay, so very quickly, just to repeat, okay, many students worry they can't think of ideas. All right, so this is what I'm going to talk to you about now. Where do ideas come from? How do you think of ideas? So, number one, please, Cho Zhang. Oh, sorry, Zung Ha I was talking to. Sorry, Cho Zhang, Zung Ha.
One, I ask questions are designed for everyone who has a reasonable standard for education. The chance that you will be asked about something you know nothing is almost zero.
Okay, good. Thank you, Zung Ha. So remember, please, the real IELTS questions, the one in the test, they are designed for everyone who has a reasonable standard of education, a reasonable general knowledge, and that includes all of you. Okay, so you will be never asked a question that you know nothing about. Okay, you won't be asked to explain how does a nuclear reactor work. All right, you won't be asked a question like, how does, what else? I'm trying to think of something complicated. You know, what is the life cycle of a butterfly? All right, you won't be asked questions that you know nothing about, because remember, the idea of an IELTS exam is to test your English. Okay, it's not to try and trick you with a difficult question. So don't get stressed if you read questions on the internet that are supposed to be IELTS questions, but look way too difficult because they are not real questions. All right, number two, please. Tung, can you read this? Number two.
Only look at IELTS questions on these websites: Cambridge, IDP, British Council, and the official IELTS website. This is where you will see real questions as used in exam.
Good reading, Tung. Okay, you read very well. Okay, so don't just go onto Google and type in IELTS questions. All right, you will see lots of fake questions. Go to these sites: Cambridge, IDP, British Council, and the official IELTS website. There you will see the real sort of IELTS questions used in the exam. Okay, and like I say, chances are almost zero that you will know nothing about these questions. You can look at these questions, you will know something about them just because of your general education. All right, number three, please, Michael, number three.
You can't predict exactly what question you'll get, but there are some common topics. Example, education, technology, health, the environment, and governance.
Good. Thank you, Michael. Okay, so of course, you don't know exactly what essay question you're going to get in the IELTS exam, but they are often about these topics: education, something to do with, children, teaching subjects; technology, something to do with computers or mobile phones. Are mobile phones a good invention? Health, the environment, okay, and government. A huge number of the questions are to do with these topics. So as part of your preparation, you should go online and read popular English news websites. For example, the BBC or The Guardian. Paula?
Yeah.
Paula,
Yeah.
Can you, in Vietnam, can you go on the BBC website?
I don't think so. I tried once, but I
Yeah.
couldn't. You know.
You couldn't go on
Get
the
access
BBC
to
website.
BBC. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. What about The Guardian, Paula?
Yeah, the Guardian is accessible.
Okay, good. All right. So try The Guardian. Okay, so the Guardian is a very well-known English news website. All right. And if you go to the Guardian website, you will see on it, they have these headings like education, technology, health, the environment. They have stories under each of these subject headings. So all you have to do for your preparation is read a story on one of these topics once a day. Only takes 5 minutes. Only takes 5 minutes. And you'll be exposed to a wide range of opinions and ideas. So if you do this as part of your preparation, this is long before your Ielts exam. Okay, in a couple of months before the exam, if you read one English story a day, say from The Guardian, okay, you will very soon get an idea of the sort of opinions and ideas that people have about education, technology, health, the environment. This is how you build up your general knowledge, and you'll also see how these things are written in English. So like I say, only takes 5 minutes a day to read one of these stories. Just read one story a day under these different subject headings, and you will start to get ideas. They will stay in the back of your brain. So when you have the exam, okay, these ideas will already be there. Does that make sense to you, Xiaowei?
Yes.
Okay, Xiaowei. So, as I said before, so look at real IELTS questions as part of your preparation. When I say real IELTS question, go to the Cambridge IDP British Council websites, okay? And then read something daily about one of the common topics, and you should have no problem generating ideas when it comes to task 2. Okay, Xiaowei. Number 4, can you please read number 4?
What is a good idea? Has to be relevant to the question. To get a good score, you must answer the question. Can you
Good.
deliver?
That's fine. Thank you, Xiaowei. Just wanted the first line. Thank you. Okay, so what I mean by this has to be relevant to the question, okay? Your idea must be something to do with the question. So, for example, if the question is about education, say, it's about something to do at school, you can't write an opinion about space travel, or you can't write an opinion about playing football. Okay, you have to write about education. To get a good score, obviously, you must answer the question. So your idea has to be relevant to the question, has to have something to do with the question. All right, the second thing, Kim Nan.
Yeah.
Can you
Can
read the
you
second line,
develop-
please?
Can you develop your ideas, but be able to give explanations and examples for your ideas?
Good. Okay. So an idea, all right, you must be able to have some explanation and think of an example, even if it's made up. So remember the work we've done on our detail paragraphs over the last couple of weeks. Remember, we have a topic sentence, which is your idea, and then we usually have 2 explanation sentences, something explaining the idea, and then we finish the paragraph with an example. So a good idea, you need to be able to think of those things, explanations and examples easily. So to summarize, a good idea has to be relevant to the question, okay? And then it must be an idea where you can think of reasons, explanations, and examples. And the last one is Paula.
Yes.
Can you read the last line, please? I've highlighted here.
Can you think of an idea quickly, but not too quickly, seal both?
Okay, so a good idea is one that you can think of quickly, but like I say, not too quickly because you don't want it to be a bad idea. So a good idea is one, remember when you are doing your preparation, for the exam, in the exam, you've only got a couple of minutes to think of ideas. So a good idea has to be one that comes into your mind quite quickly. And that is where the preparation you have done reading English news websites comes in, because you will have read about education, technology, health, etc., and you will have maybe some ideas in the back of your mind that will suddenly come to life when you see the question. Does that make sense, Paula? Paula?
Yes.
Okay, does that make sense, what I've said?
Yes, it does.
Okay, about having, once you've read a lot of the websites, all right, just one story every day, but you've done this for a couple of months, you will have ideas and opinions in the back of your mind. Okay, that will help you generate good ideas very quickly. So again, a good idea is relevant to the question. Okay, it's something that you can develop without too much trouble, and it's something that you can think of quickly, but not too quickly. Okay, you want to make sure first it's a good idea. All right, this one here, Zung Ha, number 5.
Does brainstorming work? No, brainstorming generally too many irrelevant ideas.
Good. Okay, so irrelevant is the opposite of relevant. Irrelevant means it has nothing to do with the topic. So maybe some of you have done brainstorming before. It's where the teacher gives you a topic and you just write down anything you can think of to do with that topic, any word, any idea, anything. Okay, but the trouble with brainstorming for this sort of thing is that you don't have time to generate all sorts of ideas. You need to focus very quickly on just one or two, well, at least 2 good ideas. Brainstorming generates too many irrelevant ideas and takes too long. So brainstorming is not a good idea for generating ideas to answer task 2 essay questions. So I've come up here with 2 better ways to think of good ideas. 2 better ways. Tongue, what is the first one?
Yes.
Yeah, Tongue, what is the first better way to think of a good idea?
It's the coffee shop method. Imagine you are discussing a subject with friends in a cafe. This stops you this stops you going into test mode, which can inhibit your thinking.
All right, let me explain what I mean by this. So often when you are sitting with a group of friends or with other students and you are talking very easily, there's no stress. Okay, you can think of ideas and think of opinions very quickly. But if you are put in an exam situation, your brain often goes into what I call test mode. Suddenly you become stressed. Suddenly you think, oh, I've got to think of a good idea right now. Okay, and that sort of stress, that sort of tension, that sort of pressure can inhibit your thinking, can slow your thinking down. Okay, when you are relaxed, it's much easier to think of ideas and opinions than if you are stressed or tense, if you're in an exam. So what you have to practice is just imagine you're discussing a subject with your friends. Okay, so try to relax your mind. So very closely related to this is this other method of thinking of good ideas. Michael, can you read to me the family and friends method, please?
Family and friends method. If you ask of your family and friends, what do you think are the most common things they will say?
Good. Okay. So this, instead of you thinking what your opinion might be, think of your mum or dad or your brother or your sister or your best friend or whoever, and think, what would they think about this topic? What would their idea be? Okay. So you are thinking what someone else close to you, what they might think of something. Does that make sense, Michael?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, most of the time I ask my mom for the ideas.
Okay. So you can think, for example, maybe should people be allowed to carry guns in Vietnam? Okay, so you might have an opinion about that. Should people be allowed to carry guns? But then think about, what would my mum say about this? Or what would my dad say about this? Okay, so these are ways to generate ideas in your mind. So here is an example. This, by the way, is an official Cambridge question. All right. Kak Zung, can you read the question, please?
The question.
Yeah, the example I have here. The example. You can see I've got it highlighted, Kakson.
What are the advantage and disadvantage for tourists of visiting such place?
The sentence before that as well, Kakson.
Yes, today more and more tourists are visiting places where conditions are difficult, such as the Sahara Desert. What are the advantage and disadvantage for tourists of visiting such place?
Okay, thank you, Kakson. So this is, by the way, this is an official IELTS Task 2 question. Okay, what are the advantages and disadvantages for tourists visiting places where conditions like the Sahara Desert, places that are out of the way? So don't look at it as an IELTS question. Think of it as something you are discussing with your friend. Okay, so Cho Zhang.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so Cho Zhang, for example, can you read the next sentence for me, please, Cho Zhang?
Say to your coffee shop friend, many people these days are visiting out of the way and extreme places. What are the good and bad things about that?
Okay, what are the good things and bad things about that? What is one good thing, Cho Zhang, about visiting out of the way places? What's a good thing?
They can expand their knowledge.
Good.
And
Okay, that's one thing. That's fine. One is good, Cho Zhang. Thank you. One is good. Zhao Wei.
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, give me another one, shall we? We are having a cup of coffee together, shall we? And I say to you, lots of tourists these days go to out of the way places that are hard to get to. Why would they do that? What's a good reason? Why would you, all right? Yeah, why would you go to a place that's out of the way? Shall we think of it that way? Why would you go somewhere like the Sahara Desert, for example?
Because they want to like experience like the different condition of living.
Correct. Yeah, good. That's fine. Okay, so it's simple as that. So hopefully you're getting the idea. We're doing it like I'm trying to chat to Zhao Wei, okay, and Cho Zhang, not like they are in an exam, but just like we are having a talk about this. Okay, Kim Nan.
Yeah.
Okay, what is a bad thing about going to an out of the way place? What's a bad thing? What's a disadvantage?
I think the bad thing is it can lead to danger.
Okay, good. Can lead to danger. You're going to an out of the way place, could be dangerous, not many people around. Good. And Paula, one more. Another bad thing. What's a problem you might have? You were going to an out of the way place. What's a problem you might have? Okay, so we got one. So Kim Nan says might be dangerous. All right, because it's a long way from anything. What's another problem, Paula? Going to an out of the way place.
Nhưng mà
All
I
right.
don't know.
What is the sign I'm making, Paula?
Money?
Yes. Go to
Okay.
an out of the way place, going to cost a lot of money. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Does that make sense, Paula?
Yes.
Okay. You're going to go somewhere like Antarctica or the moon. All right. It's going to cost you a lot of money. So that
Yeah.
is a problem. All right. So it could be dangerous, could cost you a lot of money. So those are two problems. So you can see straight away, it doesn't take long to think of ideas when you're just chatting among your friends. And that is the sort of picture you have to keep in your mind when you're thinking of ideas for a task to essay. Okay. So straight away, you just think of, if I was going to go to the Sahara Desert, why would I like to go there? Maybe I'd like to go because it's a really unique experience. Okay, I will have an experience no one else has. But on the other hand, could be dangerous and it's going to cost a lot of money. All right, so think of it like that. Or think of what your mum or dad might say. If you said, Mum, I'd like to go to the Sahara Desert next week, what do you think? All right, think of what they might say to you. All right, so these are two ways to generate ideas. So one is the coffee shop method, all right, where you're talking to your friends in a cafe. One is the family and friends method. Zung Ha, does this make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay, Zung Ha, what's an advantage of, let me see, you and I are having a cup of coffee, Zung Ha, okay?
Okay.
We're having a cup of coffee and banh mi, all right? I hope you like banh mi, Zung Ha.
I like everything.
Okay, good. Okay, we're having our coffee and our banh mi, and I say to you, I think I would really like one day to go into space. People are having space flights now. I'd like to go into space. Is that a good idea, Zung Ha?
No,
Because.
because first you will have to spend a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Second, you have to get through many tests
Okay,
to
two.
check your
All
health.
right, good. Okay, and remember, we only need two ideas. Okay, but what is maybe an advantage of me going into space?
The benefits that you can gain more experience,
Mm-hmm.
and it will be and that tour will become like your precious memories.
Okay, all right. So it'll be a great experience, all right, going into space, and it'll make a precious memory. And one other thing I can think of, Zung Ha, remember we're having a chat, we're drinking our coffee and eating our banh mi, I would say, and it will be something hardly anyone else has ever done. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting, and no one else has done this. I'll be the only one of our friends who has gone to space. I can come back and tell you some great story about what I saw. Okay, so Zung Ha, does this way of generating ideas make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so imagine we are just sitting talking about this. Okay, and obviously not just Zung Ha, but you too, Tang, and everyone. So imagine you are sitting talking about this idea among a group of friends. What would people say are the advantages and disadvantages of this? So, like I say, don't look at it as an Ielts question, okay? Look at it as a suggestion to talk about with either a group of friends, the coffee shop method, or the family and friends method. What would my mum or dad think if I said, I want to go to space? Okay, they'll probably say, you're crazy. Okay, you don't have any money. Okay, that's fine. They're the things you use for your essay. All right, does that make sense, Tang?
Yeah, it does.
Good. All right. So everyone, I've done a lot of talking for the last half hour, but I wanted to give you some ideas about how to get ideas. All right, and to take some of the stress out of thinking of ideas. So again, very quickly, in summary, before we start writing, okay, only when you are looking for practice IELTS questions, only go to the official websites like Cambridge, IDP, British Council, and the IELTS website. Most of the IELTS questions are about these topics: education, such as schools, teaching, technology, computers, cell phones, health. How do we improve people's fitness? All right, the environment. What can we do to stop global warming? All right, the government. All right, should the government give students more money to go to university so everyone can study without worrying about money? Okay, things like that. And the way to get ideas is to go to English news websites such as the BBC, if you can get it, or The Guardian, and just read a story once a day under one of these subject headings. Okay, that will give you good general background, good general knowledge. We discussed what is a good idea, has to be relevant, has to be something you can develop quickly. All right. Why shouldn't I go into space? Because it's dangerous. Why is it dangerous? Well, there's no oxygen up there. I can't breathe. Something might go wrong with the spaceship. Okay, so you need to have an idea that you can give explanations for. Brainstorming doesn't work. The best way to think of good new ideas is the coffee shop method, where you think about just discussing a topic with your friends, or you think about family and friends. What would they say about me going into space? So everyone, I hope that's helped, and I hope you've made some notes about this. Does anyone have any questions about how to generate ideas? Michael, does that make sense to you?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good. All right, Zhao, did that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay, and Kak Zung, did that make sense to you?
Yes.
Good. All right. So what we're going to do for the rest of the lesson, time for me to stop talking, okay, and you guys to start writing. Actually, I need to share a different screen with you. Okay. So this is the topic of our next essay, everyone. The topic of our next essay. Kim Nan, can you read it for me, please?
Yeah, many people believe that media coverage of celebrities is having a negative effect on children. To what extent do you agree or disagree?
Okay, so very quickly, let's go around everyone, think of ideas. All right. Media coverage of celebrities is having a negative effect on children. Okay, Paula, I'll start with you. What do you think?
I do agree, but I also disagree, so I'm considering.
Okay, okay, give me one agree or one disagree.
They may have a negative effect on children because the things that they do or the thing that they say, children are they will copy them.
Okay, okay, good. So children are easily influenced
Yeah.
by celebrities. Okay, that's a bad thing. Thank you. Zung Ha.
I
Just
agree
one
with
reason.
it
Yeah, because why?
because children may look up to their celebrity, so this may have bad influence on them.
Okay, so the same thing Paula said. So this influence celebrities have on children is a bad thing for them. Tang.
Yes.
Okay. Do you agree media coverage of celebrities has a negative effect on children? Do you agree or disagree?
I disagree.
Because
I think children can think much of it.
sorry, Tung, what does that mean? Children can think much of it.
Like
For example,
I don't know how to explain this. This
okay. So, Tung, remember
can
what I said. What I said was a good idea. A good idea has to be something that you can explain quickly. All right. So remember. So if that idea isn't working, you have to think of another idea. Michael. Media coverage of celebrities is having a negative effect on children. Do you agree or disagree?
Kind of have to disagree with this idea.
Yep. Because
due to the effect of the media nowadays throughout on the teenagers, they need ideas from the celebrity so they could grow. And
okay, good idea, Michael. That's it. That's all I needed. Okay, good. Okay, so Michael has come up with a positive idea. Okay, children can watch celebrities to get good ideas. All right, so they can grow themselves. Good idea, Michael. Thank you. Okay, so that is the way to do it, everyone. All right, so I hope what I said before has helped. And remember, if you can't explain an idea easily in English, you have to think of another idea, all right? Because you only have a few minutes preparation time before you start writing these essays. So what I'm going to get you to do now that you know how that works, is to actually work on this essay. That's what we're going to be doing for the rest of the lesson. Hopefully you all remember the structure of this essay. I will remind you. Okay. Paula, I know you haven't done this for a few lessons, and Cho Zhang, you haven't either, but the first paragraph of a task 2 essay is always the introduction. Okay, it's fairly obvious. Can you remember, Paula, or do you know what 3 parts the introduction, can you remember this, consists of?
You have to have a paraphrase.
Correct. Okay, paraphrase is number 1, everyone. Hope everyone remembers this because you're going to do this. Your first sentence is always a paraphrase. What is your second sentence, Paula?
The statement of your opinion.
Your thesis statement. Very good, Paula. Good. Your thesis statement, which is either I agree or disagree.
And you have to give the reasons.
Exactly. You give 2 reasons. Yeah, that's great. Okay, everyone. So introduction, first sentence, paraphrase, second sentence, your thesis statement. Do you agree or disagree? Or do you both agree and disagree, like Michael did? The third sentence, or even the fourth sentence as well, your 2 reasons why you agree or disagree. Okay, and remember, each of those reasons is going to be the lead sentence of your detail paragraphs. That is the structure. And then, of course, so they are your 3 paragraphs: introduction, detail paragraph 1, detail paragraph 2, and the last paragraph is Kak Zung. What is the last paragraph of your essay?
Is the last paragraph
begins with C, begins with the letter C.
Construction.
Close. Conclusion.
Yes, okay.
Conclusion, okay. Introduction, 2 detailed paragraphs. Conclusion. Introduction has 3 parts. Paraphrase, your thesis statement, your 2 reasons. Okay, so structure, very simple. You should know this by now. Okay, everyone. So unless there are any questions, please start writing. I will share the link with you. So I'm going to get you now to write okay, there is the link. So you're going to write a complete essay from start to finish, both during this lesson and the next one. And your homework, by the way, okay, your homework, I know some of you are very busy, like Michael has told me he has a lot of exams coming up. So your homework, if you have time, okay, is just to write a little bit more of the essay. But we will finish it next week. But right now we have about 20 minutes left before the end of the lesson. Okay, so you should be able to, in 20 minutes, if this was an exam, you should be able to write half the essay between now and past. So does anyone have any questions before we start this? So let me be clear again. You're going to write 4 paragraphs for this essay, 250 words about. First paragraph, introduction. First sentence of the introduction is a paraphrase. Second sentence of the introduction, your thesis statement, whether you agree or disagree. Third sentence of the introduction, your 2 ideas. And the 2 ideas have to be ones that you can explain in the next 2 paragraphs. Does this make sense, Cho Zhang?
Yes,
Okay, good. This is what we've been working on over the last few weeks. So I know you haven't been at the lessons, but this is what we've been practicing. So your first sentence is always a paraphrase, okay? A paraphrase of this, the first sentence, the topic statement. So you need to paraphrase that. That is always your first sentence in any of these essays. Kim Nan, I know you understand. Paula, I know you understand. Zung Ha, I'm sure you understand too. Tang.
Yeah.
Okay, you understand what we are doing, Tang? What you need to do?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Okay, good. So, and again, if this was an exam, remember you have about 6 or 7 minutes to think of an idea. Okay, think of 2 ideas. So you don't have to rush straight into writing. You do have time, 6 or 7 minutes to think of 2 good ideas that are going to be the basis of your detailed paragraphs. Oh, by the way, Tang, when are you going to be doing the Ielts exam? Do you have any idea?
About this November.
In November. November, you
Yeah,
think?
like
Okay.
in the middle
Okay.
of the month.
Excuse me. Okay. Okay, everyone, please start writing. So like I say, don't have to start writing straight away. You can spend a few minutes thinking of your ideas, which is what you would do in an exam. And so you can use the coffee shop method of trying to think of ideas. Imagine you are discussing this topic with your friends, celebrities. Are they a negative influence on children or not? Or what would your parents think of this? Do your parents like celebrities, do you think? So these are ways to generate ideas. And again, remember, you don't get marks for ideas. You just get marks for how you write about them. So you don't need to spend half an hour trying to think of the best idea in the world, because that doesn't get any marks. You just have to think of 2 ideas and be able to write a paragraph about each of them. Okay. Pak Sung, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Numerous people think that media coverage of famous, same thing. What is the plural of person? Kak Sung? Has to be plural because it is celebrities here, okay? Which is plural, so you must have plural here.
Like pupil.
Yes, people. Okay. So it has to be people, not person.
Yes.
So this one needs to be people. A change. Okay. A negative collision. Okay. Collision isn't quite the word. Okay. This is the word you want. Kak Sung? Can you see?
Yes, impact.
Okay, impact, not collision. Okay, impact and collision are synonyms, but not in this sentence.
Yes, I understand.
Okay, good. Okay, Cho Zhang.
Yes,
Okay, let's look at your paraphrase, Kojang. Some tend to reach an agreement that the omnipresent influence of celebrities on media platforms nowadays is strongly harmful. Okay, some very interesting paraphrase, Kojang. Okay, this very good word. Okay, it's a very good word. Very good you know that, Kojang. Okay, very impressive word. Is strongly harmful. So the only thing I would say, Cho Zhang, is that some and many are not the same.
yes.
Do you agree?
Yes.
Some and many. So you have to think, you can't really say some in your paraphrase. Has to mean the same as many.
Yes.
So obviously, how else could you say many people, Cho Zhang? Give me a synonym. Many people. What is another way of saying many people? Think of a phrase. Anything that comes into your mind, Cho Zhang. What does many mean, Cho Zhang? What does many mean?
It means like so much.
Yeah, so much, but you can't say so much people, can you? What would you say? So much people doesn't quite make sense. What about, yeah, what about Yeah, what about a lot of? A lot.
Many.
Yeah, does that make sense? A lot. Many means a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, if you have many apples, you have a lot of apples.
A
Okay?
lot of people.
Yeah. So your paraphrase doesn't have to be complicated. Remember, I've said many times KIS. What does KIS stand for? Choujang.
Keep it simple.
Correct. Correct. Keep it simple. Okay. If you keep it simple and don't make any mistakes, okay, makes it easier for you to write, and also you don't lose any marks because you don't make any mistakes.
Yes.
So saying a lot of means the same as many. Very simple, but it works. Does that make sense, Choujang?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good. Okay, Paula. Hello, Paula.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt your train of thought, Paula. Okay, just want to have a look at what you've done so far. All right. It is widely argued that children are being negatively impacted by media coverage of famous people. Okay, very good paraphrase, Paula. Excellent. While some celebrities serve as great role models, I think the majority of them set a poor example for youngsters. Okay, very good, Paula. Please carry on. Okay, Michael.
Hello.
Okay, some people, so again, same thing as I was saying to Choujang. Just remember, many and some don't mean the same. Okay, just be
Oh,
careful. You know that already, that many and some aren't the same.
yeah.
So you would have to say something. And again, I was saying to Choujang, remember KIS, keep it simple. So instead of just saying many, you could say a lot of. All right, doesn't have to be a complicated word or
Oh,
phrase.
okay.
Okay, just say a lot of people, many people. So simple, just KIS. Okay, so the only other change I make, Michael, is this part of the sentence here. Okay,
Yes.
that can go in one of your detailed paragraphs. You don't need it in your introduction.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because you've already given 2 reasons. Okay, so obviously reason number 1 is here, isn't it?
Yes.
Children have obtained the ideas to grow from famous people. Good. That's one good idea. And the second idea is they're getting confidence and experience due to the help of celebrities' influences. Okay. So that is your second idea. So this
Yes.
bit can go in one of the detailed paragraphs.
Okay.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So again, you're just keeping it simple. All right. Your
Okay.
paraphrase, your thesis statement, which is here, and then your 2 ideas. That's it.
Oh, okay.
That's all you need. And then you use your detailed paragraphs to explain your ideas.
Thank you.
Okay. Tang.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look at what you've got so far, Tang. All right. Many people think children are negatively affected by media coverage of influential people. Okay, affected actually is this word, Tang, affected by media coverage.
okay.
This is a statement because nowadays children tend to copy their idol or want to have a career like them. Okay, that's fine. You need one more reason, Tang.
Yeah, I'm
Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, that's fine. Shall we?
Yes.
Okay, it's argued that the action and speech of famous people could have a bad influence on youngsters. This essay agrees with the statement due to the fact children are immature, easily affected by their idols, and can absorb misleading ideals. Okay, don't need this, shall we?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, obviously that's what you're going to do.
Yep.
All right, and
Okay.
because you only have 250 words, you don't need to waste any words saying that. Okay, so take that out. Okay, Sung Ha.
Yes.
Okay, Sung Ha. It's believed that media coverage of famous people having a bad influence on children. And it agrees with the statement. Youngsters are. What is this word?
The youngsters are easy.
All right.
Okay.
Youngsters are easily. Okay, and this, instead of to be affected, okay, I think you want this word, Sung Ha. Do you know what it's going to be? Yes. Okay. I'm using one word now instead of three. Okay. Youngsters are easily influenced instead of youngsters are easy to be affected. Okay. Youngsters are easily influenced is much, much better. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. That's fine, Sung Ha. Good. Okay, everyone. I'll stop there. Okay, thank you. Can you turn your cameras back on, please? That is the end of the lesson for today. So your homework, everyone, is if you have time to continue on with the essay. But if not, we will spend 10 minutes at the beginning of next lesson just finishing off the essay. So your homework is, if you can, to continue on and finish the essay if you have time. But I know some of you are very busy, so if you don't, we will spend 10 minutes finishing off the essay at the start of next lesson. Does anyone have any questions? Anyone have any questions before we go?